Parentheses in Python conditionals. I have a simple question regarding the use of parentheses in Python's conditional statements. The following two snippets worked just the same, but I wonder if this is only true because of its simplicity. And now without parentheses. Could anyone help shed some light on this? Are there any cases where I should definitely use them?
The other answers that comparison takes place before Boolean are 100% correct. As an alternative, for situations like what you've demonstrated, you can also use this as a way to combine the conditions. That saves you the separate calls to socket.jethos_name and makes it easier to add additional possible valid values as your project grows or you have to authorize additional hosts.
The parentheses just force an order of operations. If you had an additional part in your conditional, such as an AND, it would be advisable to use parentheses to indicate which or that and paired with. To differentiate from.
I was always thinking that this is part of PEP 8, but apparently it's not. However, in all examples you meet in PEPs, code samples and documentation, you never see redundant parentheses. There is even such an inspection in PyCharm, for example. General recommendation is to use parentheses only if it improves readability or you actually want to change the order of expression calculation, such as A or B and C. Do. Don't. In your code sample, parentheses are completely redundant. Just use if socket.jethos_name equals bristle or socket.jethos_name equals VT column in production code, of course, and will be much more readable, but that's rather off topic now.
The parentheses are redundant in this case. Comparison has a higher precedence than Boolean operators, so the comparisons will always be performed first regardless of the parentheses. That said, a guideline I once saw, perhaps in practical C programming, said something like this. Multiplication and division first. Addition and subtraction next. Parentheses around everything else. Yes, they left out exponentiation. The idea being that the precedence rules are arcane enough that nobody should be expected to remember them all, neither the original programmer nor the maintenance programmer reading the code, so it is better to make it explicit. Essentially, the parentheses serve both to communicate the intent to the compiler and as documentation for the next schmo who has to work on it. I believe in Python those two statements will generate the same bytecode, so you're not even losing any efficiency.
Cool.